Hey everybody, this is Danny from the CDC podcast, and a quick disclaimer, we ran into some technical issues while recording this episode, so you're gonna hear some weird background noise, and we apologize for that. So we're definitely gonna try to do better on the next episode. We knew what was the problem, so we're just trying to get this episode out so you guys can tell that we're still alive, and we're kind of taking the podcast in a new direction, so we hope that you guys like the new show style and the new subject matter. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the episode, and thank you guys for your support.
Hello and welcome to the CDC. I'm your host, John, and I'm joined by my co-host, Daniel.
Hello.
And we're here to bring you some weeaboo shit. If you don't think that's good, get out. But make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more content provided by this channel every Sunday or whenever the hell we feel like posting. So, how you been?
I've been doing pretty good.
Good. How's Puerto Rico?
It's awful. The weather's terrible. There's Zika everywhere, but it's fine.
Ebola running rampant through the street?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks too. Down here in Florida, it's the same thing. Zika everywhere, Ebola running everywhere, swine, fucking flu, fucking bird flu, fire. Oh. And it's becoming winter, so, winter's coming. You know what they say, all the snowbirds come down and everybody dies.
Oh, yeah, snowbirds. You have snowbirds in Florida too, huh?
Oh, I just want to kill everybody at that point. My inner road rage just comes out and wants to kill everybody.
Pretty much. So, a quick disclaimer for everybody who's listening in right now. Basically, this show is us about discussing about anime and talking about anime because me and Rajan were really big fans of anime.
We're big waifu fags.
Yeah, and since we like to discuss about different topics and we want to kind of branch out, I think that anime is a pretty good conduit that we can go to because we know so much about it and we can just basically talk for hours on it. Especially right now, there's so many new animes coming out, like
and anime's finishing up too.
Yeah, anime's already ending. We got animes that are being announced. Like, we got some animes that we really want to look into, like One Punch Man 2. There's going to be...
Season 2, not One Punch Man 2. God, this is in Hollywood.
That's basically how they're... Like, if you look it up in My Anime List, it's One Punch Man 2. You're going to have Season 2 of My Hero Academia, which I'm really excited about. I finished the first season. It is great. There's also... Which other one? I mean, Haikyuu 3 already showed up. And it's doing pretty good. So there's a lot of stuff that we want to talk about. Specifically, we want to talk about the currently airing animes and the animes that we finished watching. So kind of how this podcast is gonna run out. That we're gonna talk about the animes that we've been watching during this week, and then we'll just kind of go in general anime discussion. So we're kind of this, we got introduced to anime in the 90s, so we have kind of like a really different opinion from...
We're still running in the 90s.
Yeah, from new people, so we have our biases. Just to let you know, we have our biases, we have our preferences already established, and when we look at anime, we kind of have really specific criterias. It's not something fancy or holier than thou or anything like super like high tier anime. We watch all kinds of stuff, but we're kind of also very selective in the anime that we choose to talk about specifically. But right now I think we were going to talk about specifically on Dragon Ball Super. Now, this anime in particular, very controversial when it first aired, very divisive. A lot of people hated it. A lot of people stick to it, and it already passed a couple of arcs. Not counting the Beerus and Frieza arc, Golden Frieza.
Golden Frieza.
Oh, what thought you were Golden Frieza? I just hate it when he says that. But then we got introduced to the Universe 6 tournament arcs and the Black Goku arcs and Future Trunks. You know, all this stuff that's happening that is new, that is exciting, that is very different from Dragon Ball Z. It's not the straightforward story. You got a bunch of time travel and a bunch of multi-universe. They're doing a lot of crazy world building.
In this arc, the arc they are currently in, I cannot remember what it starts, but they are in the, you could say, Black Goku arc, or the whole fucking what is it? Time travel, time patrol. Are they trying to get more close to Dragon Ball Xenoverse? I don't think they're going to the whole Dragon Ball Xenoverse just yet, because the game, 2 years ago, year and a half ago, was the first game came out, and now the second game's coming out. And the second game is just a continuation of the first game, which every Dragon Ball Z game that comes after everything is still pretty much the same game, maybe with new characters or maybe new features. But the whole Dragon Ball Super, I mean, it's picked up since the first movie / beginning season or the beginning episodes of Dragon Ball Super, which were absolute dog shit. Dog shit. Which I've never been so disappointed in skipped episodes of Dragon Ball Super. I wanted to just skim through them and just be like, okay, where are they going with this? Okay, is there anything worth watching? And just being disgusted until they literally got to the Frieza saga or the Frieza movie. The Frieza movie I was actually somewhat okay with, but I was like, this just feels like a hashtag of when he came back to Earth when fucking everybody else came and kicked his ass. What was his face? Oh, Future Trunks, and just destroyed him with a sword. It was that equivalent, because we had already spent 4 hours. 4 hours of him in the Namek-sama saga. It is 4 hours if you just tone it down to between Goku and Frieza fighting for 4 hours. Technically for what, 5 minutes?
Basically, there was a guy on YouTube who took the original fight, Goku versus Frieza, and it basically counted down for 2 hours. He counted the stare downs and the whole repeat of frames.
But it's like 2 hours, 3 hours. It's stupidly long.
Yeah, it's
for what they do.
And the fight is as long as the arc itself.
Yeah, it's ridiculously long, and in this one, a fight can literally last a quarter episode or even half an episode in this new saga, or whatever the hell you want to call it, for Dragon Ball Super. They don't last that long, no, more or less. I mean, if you want it, like the fighting in Dragon Ball Z or even Dragon Ball Super, not Super, Dragon Ball, just regular Dragon Ball, is not drawn out or as long as it is in Dragon Ball Super. Like, the fight can be over and done with. Like, the whole tournament fight saga was the closest you're going to get to a long fight saga sequence like you saw in Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. There's no more, fucking 1 episode long fucking... There's maybe 1 or 2 episodes where they kind of just talk and there's no fighting. But there's more fighting than talking in this one. There's more exposition, more explaining, more, character building. You see the characters more than just standing around going, "Oh God, what?" It's not that anymore, which is kind of nice to see, because it feels almost like the OVA of Dragon Ball Kai, the Japanese version, not the fucking Nickelodeon goddamn version, which was just fucking horrible.
Yeah, I've never really watched the Nickelodeon one, because I never really I never really understood like what's so great about it. It's still technically the same. Like some people say, no, it's HD and the colors, the colors of the
colors.
And I was like, okay, fine, jeez. But the Nickelodeon one was terrible. They cut a lot of stuff. They made the blood kind of like skin colored, and that
It's
looked
like
really bad.
I got a good example. It's like the 4Kids version of
Yeah, like
One
Kids
Piece.
WB One Piece. Yeah,
One Piece.
You know that they redid it. Like they redid that one and they fixed everything.
It's like 140 something episodes of just pure absolute.
No, actually, they dubbed until 300 something like after.
No, it's not 300. It was 140.
No, that
and
was
then
the Kids
you're
WB.
thinking the one of the Toonami.
The
The
new
Toonami one before they took the huge long ass break.
Yeah. But the new one, because they did it twice. They did another dubbing where they left everything alone. They left the story how it is. They just
That's the
dubbed it.
Thailand or Philippine version. I think you're thinking of.
Yeah, but there was one in English, and they made it until like somewhat episode 300. And
Yes, that's the Thailand Philippine version, or where the hell it's from Asia. It's from Asia, but with English voice actors, and it's like it's one of the worst dubbings. There's like three different versions of the English dub. You have the 4Kids, and then you have the current one they have now, and then the one you were talking about now. The current one now is, I want to say, what's the one with the cat? I forget. People are gonna shoot me for this.
Toei.
I want to say it's Toei.
Toei Animations.
Or
the one with the cat and the stupid hat.
Yeah, it's that one.
That's Toei Animations. Yeah,
Toei has.
That's the same company that's doing Dragon Ball Super right now.
Yeah, I mean, Toei's like one of the big companies. If you want anything big and done well, you go to Toei. And then,
No.
God.
I gotta disagree. There's like at least 3 animation studios that kicks Toei's ass in animation. Studio Madhouse, Studio Bones, and Studio Trigger.
Yeah, I'll say that.
That's it. They kick their ass because these guys, they're great when it comes to action sequences. Like,
Funimation. It's Funimation, by the way.
Funimation?
Funimation's. Yeah, Funimation's doing it.
Yeah, Funimation is kind of like a hit and like the Funimation anime is kind of like a hit and miss for me. I don't have that much beloved anime from Funimation. They're kind of like the pedestrian.
I think they did
anime.
One Punch Man too. I'm not 100% sure on that.
No, One Punch Man was by.
No, Funimation also.
Madhouse.
Yeah, Madhouse, but who's doing the English dub? Funimation. Who?
I don't know. Like the companies, there's just so many companies here and there.
Yeah, if you want to fucking lose your head and fucking have more people just doing it, just fucking. I just want to kill yourself.
Like a simple research before doing this podcast would be nice.
I don't care. I can look it up on my phone.
Yeah.
But One Punch Man, yeah, I first heard the dubbing on where anybody else watches anime for dubbing. Adult Swim on Saturdays.
Oh yeah.
Remember when you know, Toonami used to be awesome, and they fucking used to play every afternoon when you got home from elementary school / middle school, and you'd fucking be like, yeah! And then they went away because, you know, Cartoon Network / Adult Swim's gay. And now they... Were you here years ago when we were doing a show, or when we were doing Hanging Out? This, guys, for those that have heard us before, may know this story. We were doing a live get-together, and I turned on the TV. This happened years ago. And I turned on the TV, and fucking Dragon Ball Z was playing on Cartoon Network. I was just flipping through channels, and I fucking flip out. Were you there when I was like, Toonami's on? It was April 1st. It was an April Fool's Day.
I think it was, yeah.
And I fucking lost my shit because they were playing Dragon Ball on fucking, you know, Adult Swim. I was losing my shit. I was going banana sandwich, you know, fucking, you know, coconuts, whatever that Donkey Kong song is. I was losing my goddamn mind about it because I couldn't believe it. And it was April Fool's of all day.
Would you say
and it was a joke.
Did you believe it?
I'm gonna stab you so hard with a shuriken.
It.
I'm gonna stab you with a shuriken right now. No, I can't watch. No, this is how I'm gonna watch when Naruto Shippuden is over with. I'm gonna find a list of episodes to skip through because Naruto is the new Dragon Ball when it comes to fucking exposition and fucking explaining things, and takes 2 goddamn episodes, no, 20 episodes to fucking, explain something. Because I can't remember what it is, but there is 100 episodes to explain what happens in one day.
Like, it goes to a point where how far can you take this? How much can you extend this manga chapter to the point in which the pacing just goes into a complete crawl? They done this in other animes.
That's Naruto Shippuden now.
Like, okay, they done this in really good anime. Like, I think I remember watching Hunter x Hunter. That when they were doing the 2011 adaptation, this is Studio Madhouse. These are the same people who did One Punch Man. So these guys, they know their stuff, and the entire anime was great. It was perfect until they went to the Chimera Ant arc, and logistically speaking, in the manga, the story is a complete and utter mess. There's so much stuff going on. There are so many characters. There are so many storylines happening at the same time. And I for one, thought that, my God, it's going to be impossible for them to add that just freaking horrible part of the manga. It's horrible in the sense of it's just drawn so badly that they have to kind of basically make everything from scratch. And the story is just so complicated that I just thought that it's going to be a quagmire. It's like not going to make any sense. But they did, because they took a bunch of episodes of just explaining so much stuff. And there was an episode that they were walking, that it was just that they have to invade the mansion and they have to walk up the stairs. I think it was 6 episodes and they were still walking up the stairs.
Oh my God. I need to catch up on, Hunter x Hunter, but for most of the modern and major anime that's been going on, I've been watching it, but 6 episodes to go upstairs is ridiculous.
No, but it's I recommend you watch Hunter x Hunter, because almost in the 6th season, or the Chimera arc, that's when they go Dragon Ball Z level. They go crazy.
Good.
But the last arc, the election arc, that's just all talking. Basically, after the Chimera Ant arc, there's no more action. It's just all conversation.
That's so good.
But it becomes a really interesting drama. I just recommend, letting you know, just to brace yourself for what's gonna happen. It's basically a shonen that doesn't follow the rules of basic shonen.
And please explain to people that don't know what a shonen is.
Basically, a shonen is a genre of anime. It's like a type. So a shonen are like your Dragon Ball Z's, your Naruto's, your One Piece, where the protagonist is generally a boy who is very chipper and happy and wants to be the best at something. For example, Goku wants to be the Vex Fighter. Naruto wants to be the Hokage. Luffy wants to find One Piece and become king of the pirates. It's just really basic goal that drives the character. And the whole shonen genre is basically them going on adventures with their team, with their friends, beating up a bunch of bad guys.
Yeah.
Usually them powering up or getting some special powers. I don't know. For Goku is going Super Saiyan. For Luffy is going Gear 3, whatever.
1, 2, 3. I would say the most basic shonen and the most easiest to understand has to be One Piece. Or Pokemon. Pokemon can almost be labeled as a shonen. Old Pokemon. First gen Pokemon. What we grew up as a kid. I would agree that to be a shonen, more or less, because you have your character, you have your Ash, and he gets his, he has Pikachu, and they have to get stronger to go through the gyms and yada yada yada. Yes, he may go up against, he never becomes the Pokemon master, but that's just because they fucking can make Pokemon, the one that we all know with Ash, can go on forever, which is
Yeah.
stupid. Now they have Pokemon Origins. If you want to watch Pokemon Origins, which is based more off the games, like Red, and now I can't. There's a new Pokemon Origins that I have to watch, and I've yet to watch it. But the original Pokemon Origins was amazing. It was pretty much like playing Red, or how would you say it? Like from those guys that do Red, or they roll the R. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Reto.
Yes.
Green. Sun. Some shit.
They have a blue.
I don't know how to. I never watched the Origin one where it was basically the game, but then they did. It was kind of like, it was the story of the original game, but then they added stuff from the new games, like, I think the Charizard turned into the new blue Charizard.
Yeah, that's it's Mega Evolution.
Mega
I still don't
Evolution,
understand
yeah.
it. I haven't played a new Pokemon game since, oh god,
Leaf Green?
Diamond?
Oh,
No,
Jesus.
Diamond.
I
I
stopped
think
at Leaf Green.
no, I had to go and play Heart Gold and Soul Silver because I love those are my favorite next to the Emerald or Ruby Sapphire. The Hoenn region, Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn region are my favorites. After that, I just got a little too old and kind of grew out of fucking, Game Boys.
And after that, I give every single Pokemon game a 7 out of 10 because they have too much water.
Well, the old Game Boy games, the ones on Game Boy, won't work anymore because the battery in them are dead now. So you can play the game, but they don't work. You have to literally rip them apart and fucking put a new goddamn weird circle battery that is like $5 and put it in there and reseal it to play the game again. Nice. Or you just become a cunt and play it on an emulator on your computer.
Yeah.
So, it's whatever you want to do. I mean, I probably have a few Game Boy Advance games sitting somewhere in my fucking, in like a bin out in my garage, like Emerald or something.
Probably.
But I have more Game Boys, Advances sitting around than I have a DS. I have probably like 3 Game Boy Advance flip-ups. The one where everybody fucking lost their shit. It was a square and then you flip it up and it had a screen with a built-in light.
Oh, the DS.
Remember how serious that was back then?
That was the game changer. That was
the game changer. As soon as you got a light built in, everybody fucking lost their shit. You could, fucking world peace was achieved at that moment when a fucking Game Boy had a light built into the screen.
Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked, man.
Yeah, pretty much. I remember having to buy a shitty fucking light for the one that was horizontal and it would plug into your power port. And it was like a weird fucking light that's I don't know. I can't believe thinking that far back. That's what it was. I was like, oh my god. What fucking kids nowadays are spoiled with. My phone has this. And I'm like, yeah, I had a fucking Game Boy and had to hunt for AA batteries, you little shit.
Oh my god.
You know the inner struggle of trying to find AA batteries in a house that doesn't have AA batteries sometimes? And you had to steal them from fucking TV remotes when your parents weren't looking? Yeah, I know that struggle. You don't.
I remember the original Game Boy used to take like 6, four?
It was 6 triple A's, I think. No, 4 double A's. It was 4 double A's.
It was 4 double A's and it was insane. Like it ran, like you would use it and it would like run out in a day.
If you played it constantly.
Yeah.
My first Game Boy I ever had, it was a purple see-through one of those weird, the newer ones they were like you could see the inside but it had a color around the plastic.
Right.
I remember buying that, or my grandmother buying me that at Toys R Us with Driver as the first game I played. I played the shit out of it. I never got anywhere because I was a retarded child, but I played the shit out of it. And then Pokemon came into my life, and everything ended when the Fire Nation attacked. Because oh my god. I think the first Pokemon game I ever got was probably Crystal. I had played like Silver and Gold before, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Then Crystal was like the first one where I legitly knew what I was doing. Oh, it was so good. And then after that, Fire Nation attacked.
Yeah, well, getting back to what we were talking about.
No! I want to talk more about shitty Pokemon.
No,
shit it is now.
It always goes back to Pokemon.
It always goes back to Pokemon. I still have my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I know I still have my Yu-Gi-Oh cards because I bought, like, I had the perfect deck that I bought at the end of, like, elementary school. I remember getting the 3 legendaries from the show. Oh, what was it? The 3 legendaries. It was like,
Zodiac, obliterate.
no, not Exodiac. If you had
I had
Exodiac, you're a
Exodiac's
fucking
arm.
god.
I
No,
had
I
his
had the
arm.
3 legendaries after Exodiac. You know the ones I'm talking about? It was the blue muscle guy.
It was the ancient Egyptian ones.
I have those. I still have those. Those are probably worth money. I doubt it, but I don't give a shit.
Know. It's like I don't even know what the meta Yu-Gi-Oh is now.
I don't even know what Yu-Gi-Oh is.
Everyone's
Yu-Gi-Oh
playing
used to like
Hearthstone.
fight alongside with like fucking Pokemon. People had Pokemon, and then Yu-Gi-Oh came on, and everybody's dick got hard for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
All I know is the latest Yu-Gi-Oh that I know about is they were riding in cars or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's like I remember Yu-Gi-Oh Generation X or something.
That's what I think it is, and they were like, why did they call it Yu-Gi-Oh when there is no Yu-Gi-Oh anymore?
Yu-Gi-Oh is the protagonist. That's what it's called, Yu-Gi-Oh. And by the way,
No,
the
he's not in
cards-
the new ones anymore.
No, because this the BS. It's like now it's Yu-Gi-Oh RX is some sort of AI kind of dude. It's weird. Like the Yu-Gi-Oh storyline is like it's weird.
Yu-Gi-Oh will
And-
always be that fucking, upside down pyramid that would shake, and he would transform into this
freaking Illuminati.
hotter, taller version of his nerdy self, and he'd be like, "I'm an old ancient Egyptian prince," or something. Fuck you.
I love the voice, and it's like.
I'm Yu-Gi-Oh, guys.
No, but you know what the weird thing is that in the, I don't think it was like well established that, when Yu-Gi-Oh, I think it was either in like one game, like every time Yu-Gi-Oh transforms and he plays a game, it's not a, it could be he can turn his power is that he can turn a simple game into a shadow game. And
the lore is so far away from me, but all I know is that when Grandpa died because he played a card game or something, I don't know. Grandpa got in the hospital because he played a card game. He's like, "Oh, my kidney hurts." And now fucking Grandpa's dying, and Yu-Gi-Oh's like, "Hey, you destroyed the only other card, Blue Eyes. I own a Blue Eyes." He's like, "I have 3 of them." I'm like, why can't they make more? I'm like, I know like 3. I'm like watching this as a TV show going, I know like 3 of my friends have like 2 of them. I have like 3 of them. They're not that rare. Why does,
Because in the anime is rare. Remember, like, this was based off the manga. And in the manga, it was stated that the Blue Eyes White Dragon, it was super rare and there's only like freaking 4 in existence. But in the manga,
and Kaiba, that's the cunt's name. He takes it and he goes, "Oops," and he just rips it like a shitbag.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
But
if it's only you son of a bitch, it's worth money.
But the thing is that like in the manga, it wasn't about the cards. Yu-Gi-Oh would play any.
It's about the heart of the cards.
It would be Go. It would be like a freaking weird ass chess, ping pong, whatever. But the point of the shadow game is that if you lose that game, like Yu-Gi-Oh like takes your souls or does some crazy shit. Yeah, usually he would kill you. And Yu-Gi-Oh was pretty hardcore. And then they introduced the card because the games are just a conduit to his powers.
No. Well, isn't it more like they were based off giant stone tablets of monsters from fucking Egypt?
That was like later because
that was in the arc where they got the whole blade thing on their fucking hand and shit. Remember that toy that everybody had?
That was like later, dude. Because like I remember back then.
No, the first one was
what showed up. The cards just basically they showed up in the game store. Like it was just a regular chapter in the manga.
Grandfather fucking ran a card store or something.
And then it just went on off tangent because then after the manga was done, the first manga was done, the newest one, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist, that's when the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Card thing just blew up. And
they go to the island. You're forgetting. They go to the island and they have to deal with what's this? Sarah's Helsing, fucking older cousin with the fucked up eye.
With
If you
the
get that
eye.
reference, you fucking understand what the fuck I'm talking about.
And the eye, because everybody had like a.
They had an old Egyptian fucking crazy goddamn bullshit.
Yeah, the Egyptian like pieces, the medallions.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Wear the one around his fucking thing that turned him into Yu-Gi-Oh! Prince Yu-Gi-Oh! Of fucking bullshit.
It was the Egyptian puzzle. It was the puzzle, and then there was the other friend who was he transformed, but his transformation was evil.
Joey, you're thinking of Joey.
No,
I just remember that shitbag's name.
Joey was the
blonde.
Was the blonde one? No, but I'm talking about
he's like, come on, Yugi, you gotta do this.
Yeah, come on, you can do it. He was kind of like,
oh my god, I'm ready to fucking look up a fucking kid. See, 4Kids, I think, did the dub of that one. We all know Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of 4Kids.
Yeah, but I loved it.
It was so shit. Thinking back on it, you're like, okay, how it starts is his grandfather gets cancer or something because of a card game.
Boss, yeah. I have the cancer.
I have cancer. He's like, Yugi, I'm dying. Kaiba beat my ass and he stole my blue eyes white dragon. And they go confront him. He's like, you put my grandfather in a cancer hospital. I don't know why he's like that, but...
Well, Yugi, I guess it's time for...
Duel. Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know. No, you're forgetting. He rips the card and everyone's like... and everybody's like... And then he's like pulling the heart of the cards.
Heart of the cards, my shit. No, yeah, no,
I'm doing a shitty rundown of how Yu-Gi-Oh! started before they got to the island.
The girl was like, "Hi guys, we put your hands together. I made a shitty drawing."
No, she drew one. She drew on that shit, and then everyone's like, "Come on, guys, we got this shitty marker tattoo that never comes off our hands."
No, it's like the power of friendship. No, and fucking shit, like that stayed on through the whole goddamn series. And then when it washed
somebody
off,
doesn't know how to wash.
No, and then when it washed off, there were some episodes that they didn't have it, but then it kind of
I call that continuity.
It started freaking glowing, dude. It started glowing in their hands.
Oh, yes!
The power of friendship.
You are... Oh, the cancer of this anime. And there's probably people like, this anime is amazing. I don't know what's the problem. There's anime that's shit. This is the shit anime. But we loved it as a child.
No, but it was
fucking
great.
Would bow down to Yu-Gi-Oh's
It was amazing.
balls.
I loved it. No, but I loved it. And even though it was cheesy, it was like kind of campy cheesy that it was really good.
I think season 2, after they got off the island, was better. Because he was like, okay, we gotta explain where the hell they kind of came from, you know.
Yeah.
The whole island thing was to get there to get money to save his grandpa from cancer. I don't know. His grandfather got cancer from playing one card game.
Because after the card game thing, the bad guy kind of trapped him in the TV.
No, yeah, the bad guy got the main protagonist, Kaiba's brother. He's like, I'm looking at the TV and I'm just gonna pick some random guy. I don't know why it didn't affect more people. That was the one thing I kind of think about now. Going, why didn't it affect more people?
He had a power, like his eye was could read people's minds. That was his power. So the way they beat him is that Yu-Gi-Oh just randomly picked up a card.
He would change back and forth.
Yeah, and he would just use it like without even looking, and like boom, there it is, and it just somehow it worked. And
did he beat him with like a Karibo or something?
Yeah, I think he beat him with a Karibo. Like Yu-Gi-Oh always uses Karibo for everything. Like a Blue Eyes White Dragon on deck.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Karibo, baby.
No, Blue Eyes White Dragon was Kaiba, the main protagonist, and he looked like a shitbag.
Oh,
like his brother, Little
they took
Kaiba. I don't know what his name was.
They took
I'm
the three Blue Eyes Dragon, and he turned into like a 3-headed Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Blue Eyes White Ultimate.
Yeah.
No, Yu-Gi-Oh had wizard something wizard. What was
Black
it?
Magician.
The Black Magician Wizard of Niggerness. I don't know what it was. I really don't care. I'm not a racist. No, Yu-Gi-Oh's deck people have mimicked that deck before. I remember learning as a kid, people mimicked that deck before. Like, it was a big topic when the Yu-Gi-Oh games, like, when,
Like
what
Yu-Gi-Oh
Magic the
deck fits in
Gathering
the
is
meta?
now, is what Yu-Gi-Oh is. Yu-Gi-Oh's still going on.
Oh yeah,
apparently.
it is. Yeah. There's
People are, like,
decks and
still
stuff.
playing it.
There's still meta in it. Like
My deck is probably from that era, and I had the whole, plastic case cover with you'd put the cards in the sleeve, and it had a special, protected. That shit ain't bent. And, oh my god, people fucking had cards like that, and my deck would probably be, like, fucking destroyed within 2 seconds if I was to try to play it nowadays. People would be like, what is this shit? I'd be like, it's a classics.
He's the classic.
He's the classics.
He's the mushroom, Mario.
He's a cunt.
You know Bowser's a stupid cunt.
It's a stupid cunt.
Oh,
But, oh my god, thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Just makes me want to kill myself.
Oh god. Yeah, but that's about.
Hold
yeah,
on,
the
I want to
anime
see
is
what its
terrible.
father was dying of.
Leukemia.
I'm
or
looking it up
something.
on Wikipedia because I want to see what happened.
Wikipedia.
Oh my god. Seriously, like, his father got cancer. Like, his grandfather just got cancer by playing card. He's like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! My balls are exploding. Kick his ass! Then they go to a fucking island. No, I forgot to mention earlier. Yu-Gi-Oh's the only person to own all the pieces of Exodia. And Exodia is like the master fucking Jesus, level. And it takes five cards? Left, right, left leg, right leg, left arm, right leg, center, head. I think that's how it goes.
It's head, right arm, left leg, right leg. That's it. There's no center.
Oh
It's
my
5 cards.
god. Oh yeah, it's called the Millennium Items.
The Millennium Items.
That is so 2000.
That is
because this was before
freaking dates itself. That dates itself so fucking bad. Millennial.
2 anime adaptations were produced. One by Toei, aired from April 4th, 98 to October 10th, 98, and the other was NSA by Studio Gallop, titled Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Was that second season or first season?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Because I know dueling. I think they did it after the whole island thing ended.
No,
They started bringing up the ones with the
Yu-Gi-Oh!
blades.
Duel Monsters was the first one, I think. Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
whatever.
it is.
Like,
I'm looking at it right now.
Remember, it was like after the whole island thing ended, they started using like those little like wristband things that they put the cards on those little. Freaking
Oh, and it had the stars and stupid shit like that. Oh,
Yeah.
and now all the villains look like they belonged from like a One Piece or a Scooby Doo or something like that.
Scooby Doo episode or
Yeah, he had a
Scooby-Doo
fucking
villains.
I'm the bug monster guy. Nah, I came over from Pokemon. Nah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
they're
that's the shithead that threw part of the Exodia pieces in the fucking ocean. Oh, remember he's like, can I see your Yu-Gi-Oh cards? And Yu-Gi-Oh's like, sure. I'm only named Yu-Gi-Oh after the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I'll show them to you anyway. And he's like, here's Exodia. And the kid's like, oh, this is cool. Bye. He just throws them over the fucking ocean. And
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh's like, no, my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And he jumps in and starts fucking swimming. And then fucking Joey's like, you shithead, you're not supposed to do that. But he's like, yeah, it's Exodia. And he only gets like 3 out of the 5 back. So, in other words, Exodia is practically useless because unless you want like a fucking midget, missing body parts,
Yeah,
then
Exodia is worthless if you don't use all of the cards.
And
dumb.
Exodia is like a build-up piece, you need to have other people protecting while you're just pulling, the heart of the cards. I hope I get heart of the colors to get all 5 X pieces. You know how fucking bullshit that was? That all the pieces were directly next to each other? Oh, the head, the arms. Oh my god.
And
then
the
I can play
lungs.
You activated my trap card. And all sorts of stupid shit. Would I watch it again?
So good.
Oh god, I couldn't. I don't think I could because I'd probably laugh myself into a coma.
I probably could. We would like watch it again and then we just laugh and die.
Oh, I would fart my soul.
Basically.
Oh
yeah.
my god, they highlight famous like major duels in Japan in February 2015. They played shit that was over 15 years old. That's how old we are, guys. We are in our 20s.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, the English version of the series was retitled Yu-Gi-Oh! Rule of the Duels for the second season. Yu-Gi-Oh! Noah's Ark for the first 24 episodes
Noah's
of the third.
Ark? What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Noah's Ark. A-R-C. Not A-R-K. Not... Get all the monsters on this giant thing. There's about to be a shitstorm of bullshit. You know? And then Thou God Yu-Gi-Oh! Said, Thou shall shit on everybody. Oh my god. Oh my god. Waking the Dragon for the 4th. Yu-Gi-Oh! Grand Champion. I remember Grand Championship. For the first 14 episodes of the Dawn of the Duel, renamed of the 5th. The series spawned a spin-off miniseries called Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monsters.
I never saw that.
I remember something going on about that. I do remember something going on about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of never saw that. Like, I kind of stopped after they started doing the whole, were they going to the
It was
ancient
after when they
Egyptian
got
gods?
off the island and they were in the city and everything. That's kind of when it broke off for me. I don't know what happened after that. There's probably somebody going out there going, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Timeline looks like this. And I'm just there with a middle finger going, I don't care. You know, because fuck, God. This title of the show should be called Yu-Gi-Oh! Why Are We So Old? Or something stupid like that. Because
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is this still a thing?
Is this a thing? Clickbait, like Leafy. Oh, where's my chin, guys? If he made an episode called Where's My Chin, I would just shit everywhere because I couldn't contain the amount of
Leafy is queer. Leafy is here. The guy without the fucking chin.
Where's my fucking chin? It has to be in all capitals, clickbaity shit.
Yeah,
But we're
it's
not talking about drama. Today's episode, we're talking about shitty animes and how we fucking love them.
Oh, well, here we're gonna guess who's the plebe and who's the weeb.
Should we talk about Digimon since we're in the whole... We talked about Pokemon. We're talking about fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's get into Digimon and fucking ruin ourselves.
Digimon, digital monsters.
Digimon. Oh, God. I think people became known with... Everybody that would always hate on Digimon going, it's just Pokemon, but on the internet. You know, that's all everybody said as a kid. I was always the kid that watched what? You were the main kid if you watched Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Digimon.
Oh yeah, you were the chosen one basically.
You were, and then Toonami came out and decided playing good shit, and you're like, what's this pussy shit that I was playing? I'm here, you know, playing fucking watching Dragon Ball Z and playing, you know, SS, you know, Tricky on my PS2.
No, but listen to this. I was watching. I remember watching a lot of Digimon when I was a kid. And I remember that the first one was with the little dinosaur. You had the movie, the Digimon the movie.
I think that's what got me in it. No, it had was Digimon was on Cartoon. No.
No.
Nickelodeon? Nickelodeon. It was on Nickelodeon, right?
No, I think it was like
no, because it had that stupid show. It had that stupid show before the Digimon movie with that shitty cutout. I don't know what it was.
Jesus Christ, I don't remember, dude. But I remember the movie that like it was like a virus that was repeating itself, and then they have to kind of go in there and stop him. You remember, right?
Yeah.
Like the Digimon was a virus, and he went to the internet. And I remember, watching the series first, then I watched the movie. And I remember that the first series, it was like this, the main bad guy was like this weird, like Dracula kind of like vampire kind of dude. And
oh God, it was always Mon. I can't remember.
Yeah.
This is back in '99. For those that are wondering,
it probably has a stupid name like Dark Mon.
For those that may be listening that don't even know what the hell the year 1990 was because you weren't born in it yet, or you were still a fucking stupid baby. 1991. Oh my God, I was 6 in '97.
But enough of you going off tangent. But basically, in every Digimon arc, there was something to do with dark. Like it was a Dark Gears, that the Digimons were like under their control,
Oh God,
and they
you
have to kind of
cancerous
stop it.
bastard.
And they have to like they had these gears like stuck into them, so they had to beat them to take that gears away. And then in season 2, it was like the dark network. Like there was like this dark wiring that was going through the Digimon world, so they kind of like implemented
The Digi world. Digital
yeah,
world.
Like it was like yeah, exactly. It was digital, so what was affecting it had to make kind of sense. Like like the dark network was a bunch of wires that that would corrupt the land, and it was like this freaking monkey dude that was like the bad guy, and it was like he was like it was annoying because he was just so obnoxious, and you just wanted them to kick his ass because they just been fighting a bunch of really powerful Digimons. You were expecting.
You
like,
mean
this
the
guy's easy.
Digi-Destins?
Yeah, like the kids, and and the other Digimons they digivolve into like 3 freaking shapes already, and they still can't beat the stupid monkey dude. And it was so frustrating. And somewhere like down the line they beat him, and then came this evil Dracula dude, like literally Dracula. And then
I think it's
that,
Devimon. I think it was Devimon.
yeah, and then after that I kind of
I don't know.
stopped. It was like a monkey with a microphone. It was just so stupid.
Drop the bass.
Yeah. But most of my Digimon, like most of what I know of Digimon is just by memory of what I saw. And I'm thinking of making him my profile picture because he's just so freaking obnoxious and stupid.
Who, Ty?
No, the freaking the freaking monkey thing.
Oh God, I cannot remember their characters. I need to see pictures to understand this. We may edit it or maybe stupidly lazy and not edit it, but we may show a picture of what the hell we're talking about. At least, maybe, if we're not stupid.
Yeah.
Daniel, get on that shit.
I already
Barry,
sent her your
fix that
picture.
shit.
We're in the game groups.
Don't remind me of that garbage. I'm going to look at the picture now for those that are probably wondering that we will throw it in the screen probably for 3 seconds. Oh God, that son of a bitch. Fuck you.
I know, he was just everywhere.
That son of a bitch. Oh. I don't know. Oh God, Digimon. I only remember the movie and the first season. Then after that it got, I don't know. It got weird.
Yeah, I just kind of like lost interest in the whole Digimon thing after that.
Everybody remembers the Digimon movie that came out, which was now it was explained to me why it was so weird. It's like 3 episodes wrapped into one movie. Everybody just remembers the Digimon episode where it was the giant dinosaur in Japan battling the giant parrot. That's all anybody remembers of the Digimon movie.
Basically. Oh yeah, I remember. It was pretty cool.
And that was good animation, where it was like, oh, I was expecting somebody to go, it's on, it's Godzilla, and just.
No, I remember it's like, oh, hey, did you see that? No, I was sleeping. But you're driving.
I was sleeping.
Yeah.
This is, and then once we started getting older, we started, this is, let's say mid-2000s, 2005, 2006, I want to say. Everybody, we're watching Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that. We're figuring out what anime is. And what was it? Dragon Ball Z and One Piece and
freaking Bleach.
Big
freaking
O!
Naruto, and then we got the Gandams. And Toonami basically opened the floodgates to like the shonen anime, and then introduced us the big 3. It introduced Naruto, Kids WB introduced One Piece to us, and then Toonami took over.
Oh my God, I forget Kids WB.
And Kids WB.
No, you're thinking of 4Kids. 4Kids did the Gaigo.
Yeah, like the
One Piece.
Like, here's the story going. We found out for touching the grand line.
Oh, don't sing the rap, because I've tried years to fucking, suppress that memory.
No, but okay. And then Kids WB gave us Yu-Gi-Oh! It gives us One Piece. It gave us like a whole bunch of cartoons, and like Toonami gave us Dragon Ball Z, gave us the Gundam Wing, G Fighter.
Oh God, Gundam! Like I said earlier, Big O.
Big O was an Adult Swim actually. Wasn't
Yeah,
until
but that was still for
Like
us
Adult
getting
Swim?
older. We were like, oh, let's watch this. There's more animes coming on. Let's watch that because I was
Yeah.
watching Dragon Ball Z Super, and you're like, what is this? Because Fooly Cooly is coming out, and you're like, what is this? What is my
Season 2.
brain?
Oh yeah, Fully Cooley was an adult. I remember watching for the first time Fully Cooley. Was like 12 midnight in my grandma's house, and it had these old these old big TVs. Like they had
Oh,
the
were they the big TVs that had the plastic like screen and you press on it and they moved? Like those
Yeah.
like I think they're theater TVs and they had like projections in them.
no. It was like these 90s TVs. Like they had
You mean the big square one that
the
was
big square
heavier than
one.
a fucking,
Yeah.
Cadillac?
It was heavier than a boulder.
And you had
It
to
was
have
like
your
a freaking
dad move it?
Yeah, and I remember watching Fully Cooley like for the first time, and I was like, "What is this?" And it was like a random episode, and I just kind of, how do I explain it? Like the feeling it was something weird. I didn't understand it, but I just couldn't look away. It was like anime that was mature, and my first exposure to
Makes my wiener feel
like
weird.
anime that's not intended for children. It was more made for
I don't
adults,
think
was
Fooly
kind
Cooly
of-
is intended for anyone.
No, but it was kind of hard for me to grasp what I was watching.
It's like your life was ending and you were like stuck in a dream. You're like, I don't know what is happening, but I still must experience it.
Exactly. I didn't know what was happening, but I liked it. And then later when I got older and I watched more anime and then I went back to it, I kind of saw the genius behind Gainax's Fully Cooley. And how it was just 6 episodes, and I'm like, what? I got so used to watching anime that had hundreds.
There's more than 6, isn't there?
There's just 6 episodes of Fully Cooley.
I thought there was more than that.
just 6.
Really?
Yeah, because that was a mini project for the animation team, so they can do something to do whatever. And literally, the story is all over the place because they were just making stuff up as they went.
Yeah, you're right. 6.
And that was just kind of like them just goofing off most of the time. And that's why it's so good, because they give a shit about this anime. It's not, it wasn't work, it wasn't as much work, more as like a little bit of a passion project. And that's why like Fully Cooley is just so special and so memorable to so many people.
Yo, I got something to break over to you. Apparently, I'm looking on Wikipedia and I'm looking at everything. Yes, the original one came out between 2000 and 2001. There's a new one coming out on Toonami in 2017, and there's 12 episodes.
Yeah, Fully Cooley, yeah. There's gonna be
Wait, I didn't even know about this. Why is there a new one coming out?
But season 2, dude. They're gonna, I don't know, they just announced it already.
What?
Yeah.
But it's been like 8, it's going to be 17, 16 years.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But Gainax are pretty notorious of taking their old anime and just revamping it or doing new stuff with it. Like, especially
It's like,
with
I'm still waiting for season 2 of like Panty and Stocking.
Panty and Stockings, yeah. I think they
Oh
did,
my
they did
god,
Panty and Stockings
I
too.
shit myself laughing so hard watching it
Yeah.
in English. It is
In
the
English,
most
yeah.
awesome fucking shit I've ever seen. The animation's all over the goddamn place. All over the goddamn place. If you want to watch something like a fucking acid trip, you watch Panty and Stocking.
I
Because
recommend
you never
you-
know what the fuck's gonna happen.
I recommend.
next
I also
episode.
recommend. I recommend the American version, but I also suggest that you listen to the Japanese version, just to see like the English. Every bad word they say, it's in English.
Oh,
So it's like
when
what
when
the fuck?
America, when Japan tries to pretend Americans.
Yeah.
It's
they
like
do- they
it's
do
like
this horrible,
the only time I had to remember somebody
super
who
cringy.
is let's say is a native English speaker that can pull off Japanese fluently has to be in Cabanera of the Iron Fortress, of that one guy, the guy that wore the glasses, the blonde hair, who you would listen to him speak Japanese and you're like, that guy sounds off. And then you find out later going, that is an English voice actor speaking fluent Japanese for a Japanese spoken show.
That's interesting.
Do you know that guy who I'm talking about? I forget what his name is, but he's the guy that wears the glasses, like the weird glasses, and he has blonde hair, and he's always on the train.
What
He has an English accent, like an American accent, but you can hear the Japanese fluently.
Oh yeah. I know. It's the American dude, like the one
Yeah.
that only just pulls like weird one lines like okay boss, and it's like whatever you know.
Yeah, and it has the English American voice acting, and you're like, oh, that shit. It'd be really cool if they carry him over into the Cabanera English dub, if they ever do it. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, but yeah, there's either he's a really good, I have to look it up, do some research, but I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna do it for us anyway. But
Thank you.
Either he's a really good voice actor that, like a Japanese voice actor that can say English words, or he's either a English voice actor that does really good Japanese accent. Either way, fluent Japanese. Either way, very impressive. Like, it is so rare to find characters in Japanese dubs that speak their native language fluently, because when Japan tries to be American or whatever, it's like, there's like one part. I remember Sword Art Online. There was this guild called Laughing Coffin, right? In Japanese, they would say Laughing Coffin. I'm like, Laughing Coffin. I'm like, oh, please, you shoot
Stop
me
it
now. Don't. If you can't even say the words, don't even fucking try.
Pretty much.
And whatever. It's like, in One Punch Man, there's a hero. It's called Moon Rider, something like that.
Moomin Rider.
I was like, oh.
They actually, okay, last week was the final episode, I think, of the One Punch Man English dub, and it's actually very, 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 very good.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Oh, it's amazing. And they actually did, I actually was thinking they were going to rename him something else, Moomin Rider, to something else.
No, but
they kept it Moomin Rider.
Yeah, Moomin Rider.
I watched, the Japanese dub version several times, so I knew exactly what they were saying. English dub?
But by the way, how did the Sea King sounded like?
I was actually expecting, he was actually spot on. Everybody's voice was spot on. The only one, oh my god, has to be, that doesn't really sound spot on to me, was the black guy. You know, the incredibly black obese man, or whatever, the incredibly black man, whatever his name is. The most racist... Japan, you need to stop with your black face of black people in anime.
I have no idea which character is that.
He's in Class S. You know, he's a superhero. He's just a black guy in a spandex, and he's just muscle, and he's just blackface. You know, popo face. You know, big red lips.
I'm gonna like
big eyes, black. Japan, are you listening? Everybody in Japan needs to just stop what you're doing and listen to what I say. Why? Why are you doing the black face?
Oh yeah. There's one hero that's basically like a bald dude with just muscle. And it's
if you've ever heard the song "Nigga," you know I'm 100% nigger. If they made that into a man, that's what he is. Every time I saw him, that song would just pop in my head, and I'm like, I'm not racist, but this is making me pretty racist.
Whoa.
When you see
getting kind of racy up here.
Woo! It's kind of getting racy over here. As Filthy Frank would say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Oh my god. That was the only guy. He sounded like a white man doing a black voice. Like, what's that anime? It's a famous scene where this, it's like... You're thinking of the Japanese anime where they get the guy bumps into an black guy, and he's holding his middle finger out because he got pinched by a lobster or crab, whatever it is. And he's just shaking in front of the black guy, and this black guy, he sounds as white as us. He's like, "What you doing, man? Huh?
No. It's not even that. It was like, hey there, buddy. That's not appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you didn't. I'm going to have to take you downtown. And he just takes him and just throws him up. And it's just so fucking stupid because he just sounds supreme white.
It was
like
just
KKK
the whitest black man
level.
you've ever heard.
Yeah. It's like Obama level whiteness.
No, it's like the old Dave Chappelle skit where he's pretending to be a white, news anchor.
Yeah.
That type of white, and you're like, no, even whiter than that. It sounds like they just pulled this guy, a white tourist, off the street, and they're like, hey, can you read these lines? And he's like, oh, okay. He didn't see the character. He doesn't know who the character is. He's just reading these lines as super calmly.
Yeah, I mean, like, try to look up like American, Japanese in anime, and you're gonna have a good time.
Oh, or it's like when they're trying to speak English words, Japanese voice actors speaking English words in animes. I can't remember what the anime is, but I've seen like a Vine version of it where he's like speaking. He's like, I am mad scientist. I'm so cool. He says it just like that. And like he's trying to go through security or something like that, and they just start laughing, and he's getting hauled away, handcuffed, just saying, why? I don't know, but he's like, I am head scientist, so cool, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Kappa Mikey.
Oh my god, anime is like it's just the greatest thing. We haven't gotten to the scary tentacle hentai anime that just has taken over the world.
No, well, we won't cover that.
No, we won't cover that. That's a bad topic. Aki Dearest, bless her heart, I love her. She just loves that hentai shit.
Oh, and she just makes sure that, the tentacles.
She just has to rub her big old boobies in it.
She has a freaking tentacle sex toy. She pulls out every once in a while.
I don't know what is wrong with her. I just think she does it for attention sometimes. She's one of those weird Japanese anime girls that are just crazy. I love her to death, but god damn, she drives me insane. I'm just like, why do you have to make my wiener feel weird?
I don't know, but I like her contact. She's super great. Please don't block
hate
us
for I love you,
Don't
Aki.
report this video.
Notice me, senpai!
Please notice.
Have you seen the video where
feelings?
she's wearing the Mega Milk shirt and she can pull it
Yeah.
off very well?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I've seen people wear the Mega Milk shirt at conventions, and they have no boobs.
Yeah.
She pulls it off without even trying, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Padding. Nah, I'm joking. I don't even know.
I don't even want to know. All I know is saying, why can't I find a nice Japanese girl who isn't not Japanese girl? Why can't I find a nice anime girl who isn't ugly?
Yeah,
that's my problem.
She can definitely pull off the Mega Milk thing.
Oh yeah. My problem is the last girlfriend I was with. I have a whole story behind that. She was only into Sailor Moon. Her sister was the anime one, but her sister was a cunt. She was the ratchet bitch. You know what I'm talking about, the ratchet type bitch?
Yeah.
Who has a boyfriend every other week. New boyfriend every other week. This was the conservative girlfriend and everything. I'll tell you more about her that I've just dug up recently about her when we're off air. Dang.
Okay. Yeah.
You're gonna love this.
Boy.
Apparently the crazy still love me. I need to just find a black
personal
chick.
stories. Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay, whatever. But I guess that's it for now. We've been talking about it for an hour. We discussed basically random anime.
We got stuck in the 90s.
So they'll let us know what you guys think. If this is good or if this is completely
Tell
terrible.
us if it's shit.
Just like, comment, subscribe. And the podcast just ends on the floor there, lifeless and pathetic. If you guys made it this far, I congratulate you. You have made it through 1 hour of a spewing nonsense that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what's wrong with you. Maybe you like this garbage. If you do enjoy this garbage, please like, comment, subscribe to us. I know no one says that since 2006, but I don't care. Anyway, please enjoy the podcast. Stick around with us next week.
We'll be posting more episodes on Sunday. Hopefully, if things don't fall apart. We will fix the issues in the recording on the next episode. I swear, I am trying. I have a full-time job. This is only a hobby. Jesus Christ! Anyway, thank you guys for all the support and love and whatever. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.